Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. We're back on today after a wee blip in the road yesterday. We're here. It's time to talk about Celtic once more. We returned to action this past weekend against Ross County, but now all eyes focus towards Rangers this weekend. For the fourth time this season, we'll take on Rangers for the third time in the league campaign. The worst part is, it's not even the last time. You'd think that 4 would be enough. No, well, there's going to be 6 this season, so still a couple more of these derby preview weeks to go, but a big one nonetheless, a chance to effectively seal the league title. But before that, a few wee things to talk about. Are Celtic in the money? Like and subscribe if you haven't already, it would be much appreciated. As always, I'm still gone from Twitter. Don't know when I'll be back, so don't worry, I'm alive. If you want to keep up with me, this is the only way to really do it now. But aye, hello, nice to see you all. As I said, we are building towards that huge derby this weekend. A huge game in the sense that if we do win, the league is effectively over. We'd be 12 points clear of Rangers. So the magnitude of the game coming this weekend is pretty big. You know, it's one that I don't want us to slip up on, and it's controversially, but it's one that I think that we'll do well, and we've done really well in the last couple of games at Celtic Park, as we all know. Against them, confidence is on our side, so it's all about picking ourselves up from what was the disappointment of a performance, you could say, this past weekend. But we'll come on to talk about all that. There's a few things I want to talk about before we get to the derby talk. We've got money to talk about. We've got an update on one of our best players who's been out injured. Well, update. So stay with me. We're going to try and cover it all. Jeremy Frimpong, there's a blast from the past. The former Celtic right back who's been tearing it up at Bayer Leverkusen could be on the move this summer. He could be out the door at Bayer Leverkusen and in the door at Old Trafford. Manchester United look poised to land the signing of Jeremy Frimpong this coming transfer window. Erik ten Hag, fellow Dutchman, very interested in making him a Manchester United player. A very exciting move for Manchester United fans. A very exciting move for Jeremy Frimpong. And a very exciting move for Celtic. I think this is one that Celtic should be looking forward to, because there's money involved for us, and all of these smart business dealings that we've seen over the past few years, Celtic making extra money on top of transfers out with their control, seems to be coming to fruition once more, with a potential, what is it they call it again, a profit fee? We could be making more money, let's put it that way. So Frimpong has had a fantastic couple of seasons since leaving Celtic. Do you know what? Very quickly, I'd like to touch on Frimpong as a Celtic player. Someone who I really liked at Celtic, someone who I knew would have a bright future. He broke into the team out of nowhere, and he delivered from the first game he played. He was really, really good. He brought a lot of, just a very different approach to the right back position. We were used to Lustig for so long, and then Frimpong came in and kind of rocked our world, if you like. He came in, he was much faster, he was much more technical, you could say, and he was just a different player altogether, more of a wing back than a full back, and he was just very impressive. And he got that big move to Bayer Leverkusen. It was kind of sad to see him go. We made a lot of money. What was it, £11.5 million? I think we made on the transfer. And ever since he's went to Leverkusen, he's been brilliant. By far, I would say he's been the best right back in the Bundesliga over the past couple of years. I think that I would stretch as far to say he's probably been one of the best wing backs in Europe over the last year and a bit. He's been unbelievable. And this is the thing I wanted to touch on. It's funny because when he was at Celtic, I still remember people saying that James Tavernier was twice, thrice, 5 times the player that Jeremy Frimpong was, and yet here we are, one who's never budged from Rangers and lost trophy after trophy, and the other about to make a £30 million plus move to Manchester United at the age of 21, 22. It's crazy. It makes me laugh thinking back to it, because I remember so many people would comment saying, you think Frimpong's better than Tavernier? Yes, I did, and yes, I still do. There's a reason why he's about to get a big move. But good on him. He's worked really, really hard, and we knew when he was at Celtic that he would get a chance like this, an opportunity like this, if he kept providing to Leverkusen what he was providing for Celtic. And this could be it. And for Celtic, it's good news. So according to reports that were made at the time of his transfer to Bayer Leverkusen, Celtic had a sell-on fee. That was what I was looking for earlier. A sell-on fee involved, which would see Celtic get 30% of the profit made on his outgoing transfer of Bayer Leverkusen. So 30% of any of the profit they bring in on that £11.5 million will go to Celtic, which is beautiful, gorgeous. Not that I see any of it. It's not going in my pocket, so I don't care that much. But that's very good business from Celtic, because we are now looking at least, in quotation marks, a £30 million move for Jeremy Frimpong. It's been reported that Bayer Leverkusen are looking for at least £30 million should Manchester United go for it and try and bring him in the summer transfer window. Which, yeah, do the maths. You might be able to. I can't. That's a lot of money for us. According to the mathematics done in the Daily Record, however accurate they may be, it has been said that if Celtic were to see 30% of £18.5 million profit that Leverkusen would make on Jeremy Frimpong, that would be £5.5 million that would go into the accounts of Celtic Football Club. An extra £5.5 million for us to hopefully play with in the transfer window this coming summer, which would be fantastic. £5.5 million for nothing, really, just because we have smart business heads making these transfer deals, which would make, even more profit than what we did make. We signed Jeremy Frimpong for £350,000 back in 2019. And if we get £5.5 million on top of the money we did make from the total profit, we would see would be £16.5 million on the purchase of Jeremy Frimpong, which is stupendous business from us. And something hopefully that we can make the use out of. Obviously, we've been very active in the last few transfer windows. We've made a lot of signings, spent quite a bit of money, but even more for us to play with. Great, fantastic. And this is us talking, you've got to remember this now, this is us talking at least £30 million. It's probably going to be more than £30 million, especially if Bayer Leverkusen get their act together in the closing portion of this season. £30 million just now for a club who's sitting outside European qualification. If they do manage to get themselves into the top 6, into the top 5, and find themselves in the Europa League next year, then, that could be even more. They might say, right, we want more money because we're in European competition. We want to keep our best players. You could see £40-50 million being asked. Manchester United will pay £40-50 million. We know what they're like. They will pay that sort of money. And they really want Jeremy Frimpong, apparently. Ten Hag, I could see him fitting in perfectly. I like watching Manchester United. Everybody knows that. It's no secret. I would see him fitting in perfectly with the United team. I think it would be, honestly, the best right-back option in the world for them to sign right now. I would see them paying £40 or £50 million. So if that happens, suddenly you're talking about even more money for Celtic. So it's going to be an interesting one to watch develop, one unfold over the next few weeks and heading into that summer transfer window. But as Shane McMahon would say, here comes the money. As long as you don't do what Shane McMahon done at WrestleMania Celtic. None of that. So it's great news. Fantastic. More money for us. But one thing it makes me want to talk about, I should say, with this potentially happening, it comes back to this old conversation that a lot of teams and a lot of opposition fans have been having about Celtic this season. Well, they spend more money. They spend more money, so that's how they win everything. Oh my God, imagine supporting Celtic and spending all that money. We make this money. We do smart business decisions. We make the right deals. And we land ourselves in a position where we have money to spend. We're not run by some oil tycoon who's pumping billions into the club from absolutely nowhere. Celtic make their money, they spend their money, and they do it all in a very sustainable business method. That's why we're able to do it. Things like this. So it's always funny when you see fans of lesser clubs moaning and complaining about Celtic spending the money as if we don't work hard to actually make it. And this is just another fine example of that. So yeah, we'll wait and see, but big news for Celtic. Another at least £5.5 million could be coming in the summer, should all things go well. He stays fit and his form continues. So we'll wait and see what happens. We'll keep following it as it goes along. Story number 2, Charlie Nicholas. Yes, Charlie Nicholas. He's been out in the newspapers over the past couple of days talking about Reo Hatate and an injury update on him. Now, I will say this so loud and clearly that you cannot misunderstand me. Take it with a pinch of salt. I don't know who Charlie Nicholas' sources is, and I don't know how accurate it may be. But according to Charlie Nicholas, there's still a risk and a chance that we won't see Reo Hatate involved in the derby this weekend, and he could be out for longer than what we were anticipating. So in the Daily Express this morning, Charlie Nicholas wrote this. He said, "I'm hearing that Hatate could be out longer than has been suggested, but nobody knows for sure. That is what I'm hearing, and if that's the case, then Hatate would be a big miss." So I don't know if Charlie's obviously spoke to anyone at the club. Of course, he'll have connections, being a Celtic player in the past and being heavily involved in other things. But you know, is once again, take it with a pinch of salt. Maybe Charlie Nicholas is out there trying to throw Rangers off, doing Celtic a favour. It wouldn't be like him, but yeah, I don't know. It's going to be one of those ones. The reason I wanted to talk about it in this video, like, I don't usually like using these sort of stories and talking about them in a way that's like, oh my god, yeah, trying to believe it and all the rest of it. The reason I did want to talk about it is just be patient, wait, don't panic, don't worry. I wanted to urge you all, wait till Ange speaks on Friday. If Hatate's out, Hatate's out. It would be a big miss. I would miss having Hatate in the park. He's been one of, if not the best player that Celtic have had outfield this season. There's no denying it'd be a big miss. And we obviously need to have an update on the likes of Aaron Moy as well, who missed the game against Ross County. But don't worry, don't panic yet. Let Ange inform us on Friday. He'll tell us all the goss. He'll let us know who's fit and who's no. Charlie Nicholas Express articles are hardly the be-all end-all. So we'll just have to wait and see. And to wrap it up, yeah, we need to be a bit better, don't we, than what we were on Sunday against Ross County. And I believe we will be back at Celtic Park, full house. No Rangers fans, of course. And obviously the hunger to go and pretty much seal the league title should hopefully carry us over the line. Cameron Carter-Vickers was out talking about the performance at the weekend and talking about how we need to be better. He touched on it in the record, saying the Ross County game was difficult for us, and I don't think we were at our best. We had great control of the game, but one thing about this group is that even when we're not at our best, we still find ways to score goals and win. I'm not sure why we weren't at our best, but you have to give credit to them because they were well organised and worked hard. We know that next week is a big game. We will have a week's training now. We'll be right at it throughout the week. Bring on the weekend. And that's how I will end this video, with saying bring on the weekend. We will build towards it on this channel. We'll talk about it all. We'll have a podcast previewing, predicting as always. But I'm confident. I'm happy at this point in the week. So just need to wait and see what unfolds. Right, that'll do it. Like and subscribe if you've enjoyed today's video. It's nice to be back. Yeah, see you all next time.